It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
We have to keep growing as a group, recognize that we do need each other and that we do need to lean on each other in different moments and that we need to communicate better and that we need to continue to hunt what I believe every great team has, and that's the ability to think as a group. The best teams have the ability to think as a group. That comes with time and it comes with some struggle at times, so none of this is necessarily unexpected.
There's Will Hardy trying to figure out how to fix things that can't really be fixed, PK, but he's got to go up there and talk, and this lineup can only go so far. What can they do tonight against the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, can they be improved, though? Can you learn along the way, particularly the half dozen, now Kessler isn't playing, so 5 guys who are 23 and under. Can you learn more about what he's trying to teach you? I think you can. I don't know that it's going to be fixed in terms of you've got a broken leg and in 2 months that leg will be healed and you'll be fine. I'm not saying that. But I think they have the opportunity to improve. And if I were these guys, man, and I saw that clip, and it's been playing now to a degree nationally, of everybody knew that Connect was going to shoot the threes except a few guys, and unfortunately they were on my team or our team, I'd be really upset. And I'd go a little bit, well, I'll show you type of thing, man. You constantly have to prove yourself. I mean, really, I don't know where you don't in terms of if you let it get away too much, then people are going to say what's going on, whether you're 21 or 31 or whatever in real life too. So there's a lot of stuff they can improve on for sure.
Big Vic's been out for a while. Man, there's so many stars out in the NBA. No Big Vic, that would make life easier for the Jazz.
Are the stars out tonight?
Tip-off set for 6 o'clock. Pre-game starts at 5. Jake Scott, Tim Lacombe right here on The Zone as the Jazz finish up 4 straight on the road. They are rock solid 0-3. Back on track for the dream, the top pick. We'll see, but they have been losing. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.
Hashtag NBA.
Now, if you want to sing about the dream right now, PK, you can do it, but only briefly. The Philadelphia 76ers' dream was to have Embiid, Maxey, and George on the court together. Hadn't happened all season. Finally happened last night, playing the Memphis Grizzlies. And then Paul George hyperextended his left knee and left about, 30 seconds or so into the third quarter. He was out of there, and the Sixers lost 117-111. Can't get the gang together.
Paul George left early and Joel Embiid arrived late.
Right? That has been the storyline. Embiid got himself all sorts of fired up. 35 points in 35 minutes. He'll show you. But the Sixers are 2-12, and that is the worst record in the NBA. Half a game worse than the Washington Wizards, which is absolutely horrific for Philadelphia.
But not for Washington?
That's kind of who Washington is. It's not a surprise. I mean, it's bad.
It's so typical. I mean, everywhere you look in Washington, they're losers.
Clippers handling the Magic. James Harden goes for 24. Kawhi Leonard isn't playing, but the Clippers are okay. 9-7, playing territory. If they ever got Kawhi.
It's amazing. They're not used to playing without him.
Yeah, right. They've never done this before. Do we need to watch the Blazers, or have we just decided that while they're not good, they are significantly better than the Jazz, and they're not going to be in the mix for the very, very best lottery picks, unless they get super lucky?
Yeah, they've got a better core of younger guys, and a guy like Grant and all. Yeah, they're more established than the Jazz.
6-9 after losing to the Thunder, 109-99. Jalen Williams went for 30 points and 8 assists in that game.
Oh, I think he was celebrating his brother Cody's 20th birthday.
Now, is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
The Warriors thumped the Hawks 120-97. Golden State, best record in the West, off to an 11-3 start.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is health.
They're healthy, and the schedule has been not that difficult.
I don't know what their schedule's been.
Nonetheless,
You're the Warriors fan here, not me.
Yeah. And the Cavs bounce right back from that loss in Boston. They hammer the Pelicans 128-100. Ty Jerome led them with 29. They improved to 16-1. They got Toronto coming up next, so that screams 17-1. They got the Celtics in another week or so. They'll play them again. So, Lakers star LeBron James says an indefinite hiatus from social media. 159 million followers on Instagram, 52.9 million on X, the old Twitter, and he is walking away from it. Too much negativity, PK. So he's out. For how long, we'll see.
What's the negativity? Is he talking about just posts or the responses he gets? Because these young guys, well, he's not young anymore, but a lot of them, they take that and they get this blowback and they extrapolate that that's the real world.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear him say anything definitive on specifically where the negativity was. But yeah.
That was general. It wasn't a direct question to you to respond with an answer.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Thursday Night Football, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. All right, Pittsburgh, we're getting to the point where we trust you. And Russell Wilson is settled in. Now they have lost to the Colts and Cowboys, so yikes. But they're on a roll now, 5 in a row, so a chance to make it 6 tonight as Pittsburgh pushes for one of the best records in the NFL. Level with Buffalo, just a game behind the Chiefs. So see if Pittsburgh can get the best record in the AFC. Can't mess up games like this one. George Kittle, who sat out last week against Seattle with a hamstring injury, says he'll play against the Packers. I will be playing on Sunday. Very excited. Can't pass up playing the Packers, so no. I'll be out there for sure. So set your fantasy football lineups accordingly. Eli Manning, Antonio Gates, and Jared Allen among the 25 modern-era candidates for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Going on the ballot for the first time. The former Ute, Steve Smith Sr. is eligible. Anquan Bolden, James Harrison, Adam Vinatieri. So a few other names out there. Feel strongly about any of those names, PK?
I don't really follow what the level of criteria is for NFL, so they all look fine to me. But because I don't really know what stats do you need to get if you're a receiver. Honestly, I could not tell you.
I wonder if Antonio Gates will be hurt because late in his career he got busted for PED use, but that doesn't seem to be as big a deal in football as it does in baseball. I'm with you on like stats, how many sacks, but I think Jared Allen, just hearing his name, I think Hall of Famer. He was at the top of his game. He was dominant. If you're rushing the passer in the NFC North, and I know who you are, you're probably really good. So, DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Jim McElwain, former Colorado State football coach, is also at Florida. He's at Central Michigan now. He says he's going to retire after this season. A lot of openings at the G5 level. Still waiting for the Power 4 level jobs to open up, but we'll see. Tonight, NC State takes on Georgia Tech. ACC action. Kickoff set for 5:30 on ESPN. The Cougars' offensive guys talked last night, PK. Did you hear anything very surprising out of any of them? I know A-Rod was talking about the level of physicality, ASU, loving to push people around.
You're going to have to meet it. I didn't really hear anything that jumped out at me listening to the guys that, at this point in the season, we're 2 months, well into 2 months into it, so they've established themselves. It's about finishing drives. The defense, we play a team like this, you got to control Scattabooyah. I was talking to some guys at ASU, exchanging some emails, who work in the department, and they just keep going back to praising Kenny. I got a quote: "Kenny is the real deal."
Awesome.
These are guys that are there every day. I'm not even close to there every day. I just hear sound bites. But these are guys, and I think you need to be there every day to get a real feel as far as what's real and what is, you know what I mean? I mean, the guys who are there every day, whether they're media or in the sports information, they know what's going on. And so the Cougs are going to have to play, you can very much argue, the best game of the season to date that they have played.
And A-Rod was talking about the Arizona State defense largely. I mean, obviously, as the offensive coordinator, that's what he's looking. But, man, when you watch Arizona State football, and you watch more than most, but all of us have probably at least grazed through and maybe done more. The thing about Scatabo, or A.K. Scatabooyah, is that guy rarely goes down on first contact. When he does, he's always falling forward for the extra yard or two. He breaks a lot of tackles. If you try to block him to the ground with his shoulder, his balance is good. So the pressure is on for guys to tackle, especially those linebackers and safeties, because he has a knack for getting loose and going 20 or 40 yards.
Yeah, I think that, and I've seen him play 3 times because I've got to work on Saturdays, right? And one of the times was against Utah. He does do that, but and he's got 1,000 yards, so he's good, and he's been very, very good, really, no doubt about it. But a lot of it's either like a 3 or 4 yarder or a 65-yarder.
Yeah.
And so you got to make sure that you do not allow the 64-yarder, obviously. I think you can contain him to a degree. What you have to make sure is that he doesn't pull one of his magic tricks, which he's done several times. And that's, I don't want to say inflated the rushing total, because the rushing total he ran for those yards, so that rushing total is exactly what it is because he earned them and gained them. But you got to make sure that you gang tackle him so he doesn't find a way. He likes to put his hand on the ground to maintain his balance. And he's low to the ground to begin with, so his balance is excellent. And you have to limit those runs. I don't think he can bottle them up, but he's had a lot of 2 and 3 and maybe 4-yard gains, and then the next thing you know, he reels off a half a field. And so that again, not to inflate numbers, but to increase them. When you think you've got him bottled up per carry, he'll reel off a 70-yarder. And so make sure you don't do that. I think if they can do that and turn ASU into more of a one-dimensional team from the defensive perspective, BYU's defensive perspective, that would greatly enhance their chances to win.
And remember that he does it as a receiver as well as a running back. He can catch the ball and go. And he's
got
made big
great
plays
moves. For a Mack truck, a squatty Mack truck, he has great moves.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
American League and National League Cy Young Award winners announced, and PK, you were about 0% surprised to see the Tigers' Tarik Skubal and the Braves' Chris Sale named. I guess the only thing that was surprising maybe was that they weren't both unanimous.
But Skubal is a kid out of Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah.
Which is a real small town for people who have driven through Vegas to get to Phoenix. And there might be some literally right now doing that, going down for the game Saturday. That's where that kid is from. And so, yeah, he's come on. And Sale's been good for a while. He had some arm injuries and all that. But when he's good, he's at the top of his game. He's as good as anybody out there.
Smaller community. Kingman, Arizona, home of the Cy Young Award winner, or Firebaugh, California, home of Josh Allen, potential NFL MVP. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, I've been to the Fresno area many times over for work, and then I have a friend who has a cabin over there in Yosemite and grew up in Fresno, so I've been there. I don't know where his community is. I would think his community.
They're both tiny, right? DJ and PK. Oh, we should also mention Roki Sasaki. Remember that name. Not expected to sign until after January 15th. So we're going to have almost 2 more months of speculation. Dodgers, Angels.
No. I think it's Padres.
Padres. Nice.
Yeah.
Why do you think Padres?
Talking to somebody in L.A.
Okay.
And that's the word he heard. And this guy has told me some stuff that, he's the one who told me that what's-his-face Bauer would never pitch for the Dodgers again.
Uh-huh. Is he the one who told you LeBron was going to the Lakers in however many months?
Yes.
So he's got 2 winners.
He told me that before that last season, that was what was going to happen, is what he was told. So, and I saw a thing, the Dodgers, they had this thing, Mookie Betts and a couple other guys, and they were saying the Padres had the best team last year. Baseball, that doesn't really mean a whole lot of the times. He said he felt like they were the best team, and he said it certainly was the best atmosphere that they played in. So if they could get this kid and he's real, you never know. I watched the CMAs last night, the Country Music Awards, and Freddie Freeman came out and announced a winner. He's living high.
It's good to be Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Has your source in Los Angeles told you anything about Ha-Seong Kim? Because
No.
There's been some rumors / reporting, you know how that works these days, that he will bolt San Diego and leave the Padres for the Dodgers. So see if there's a little tug of war there.
No, I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Dodgers can use a shortstop, obviously.
Yeah. DJ and PK.
#golf.
PGA Tour's Fall Series continues. They are in Georgia. Patrick Fishburne, Zach Blair in the field. The pressure's on. Everybody's trying to make money here, PK, because for years the top 125 have held on to their playing cards. But this year, the top 100 hold on. So you need to make a little extra money. If you have to play in the fall when the big names, when the Schefflers and the McIlroys and that caliber of player aren't playing, well, maybe that's a good time to go make some money and get yourself over that line.
I would say it's a better time to go make some money, because making some money is always a good time. As far as that goes, I was listening to the golf radio station on the Sirius radio yesterday, and they had a guy from NBC Sports, which I believe they own the Golf Channel.
Yes.
And he was talking about yesterday, so this would have been yesterday afternoon, and he was talking about the Pro-Am that was there, and he said he had never seen as big a crowd out for a Pro-Am, and they asked him why, and he said 2 reasons. Number 1, Tom Brady was playing, and number 2, Caitlin Clark was playing.
2 megastars. So it turns out celebrity's powerful. Huh.
Yeah, and, Brady has been, well, he speaks for himself, but Caitlin Clark is on top of the world right now. And I was talking about it with my wife, and I said, she was saying, man, she gets around there. I said, yeah, my guess is she's being paid to be there, at least by her sponsorship that want to see her out there and wearing the gear or whatever it might be. But I said, yeah, that young lady is going to be flowing with the money for a number of years. And then we should also mention that the LPGA announced that in May 1st to the 4th, I think it is going to Black Desert, and we'll have Patrick Manning coming on,
8:30,
managing partner of Black Desert. Yeah, and they're going to do they're just going to do a great job with that. And thinking what they did, they sort of threw that PGA tournament together real quick, and now they'll just keep getting better. They're getting better for the PGA or the LPGA in May, and then following next fall when the PGA comes back, it'll just be better and better.
Yeah, the thrown together part of that is that they were supposed to get the tournament for 25, and then something else happened with some other tournament. I'm not sure which one, and they were said, well, how about you do one in 24? So that's why it was thrown together, and there was still a lot of construction going on at the site because, they weren't planning on hosting then, and the opening's supposed to be in the spring, so you're right. Nowhere to go but up from here, right?
Yeah, yes, most definitely.
All right, we'll talk with Patrick Fishburne. More golf coming up at 8:30. DJ and PK.
Patrick Manning.
Patrick Manning, yes, sir.
NHL.
The Utah Hockey Club opens a 4-game road trip. They are in Boston tonight. Like the Utah Hockey Club, the Bruins are 1 game under 500. They're 8-9 with the 3 overtime losses. Utah Hockey Club 7-8 with 3 overtime losses, and these two teams aren't supposed to have the same record. The Bruins are supposed to be really good, which is probably part of the reason that head coach Jim Montgomery got fired earlier this week. think they let him go on Tuesday. Maybe it was Monday night and we heard about it on Tuesday. But early in the week, he got let go. Really unusual, PK. He's there 2.5 years. The first year, they set an NHL record for wins and for points. And less than a year and a half later, he is gone. So, yeah, so will they be playing with a renewed energy because they're happy he's gone? Or are they going to mix up some of the lines? Maybe there'll be a few surprises. Puck drop, 5 p.m., TD Garden in Boston. Adrian Denny, hockey night in Utah at 4 o'clock. That'll be on 11:60 a.m. They got games everywhere. All over the place.
Yeah, they do.
Because the Jazz will obviously be on tonight as well. And the high school state championship triple header will be on 1280. So there you go. Games
now
everywhere.
back to football.
Yeah.
And you brought up Jim McElwain.
I did.
He went to Eastern Washington.
Okay.
And you know who his roommate was?
I don't.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Your radio state Texas hero, the Herd, Colin Cowherd.
Oh, there you go.
They were roommates at Eastern Washington. How about that?
And look at him now. There is an update on Alexander Ovechkin. He is week-to-week lower leg injury. You saw his knee kind of bend inward. I mean, they're not announcing it, but is that cartilage? Is that MCL? Week-to-week does not sound good. He was off to a great start, but it sounds like he's going to be out a while. 27 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's career record. All right, that's what's trending, brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. All right, coming up, we are talking with Barry Trammell, sports columnist at the Tulsa World, all things Big 12. Why are the Big 12 teams so low in the college football rankings? Why is BYU behind SMU in Miami? We'll talk with Barry about that at 8 o'clock. Patrick Manning, managing partner, Black Desert Resort at 8:30. Amy Donaldson, Making of a Moment podcast at 9:30. DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.